Brothers and sisters,
Every day is a new opportunity to hear and learn from God. Let's take this moment to receive His word for today.
here's today's scripture.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty fundamental, our words.
Yeah, specifically looking at a couple of verses, Matthew 12.36-37.
Right, and this source really makes you think about why everything we say seems to matter.
Uh-huh.
So our goal here, our sort of mission for this deep dive, is to really understand the core message and, what it means for us day to day.
And it's interesting because it's not just theological jargon, is it? It touches on communication itself, the power it has.
Exactly, something I think everyone can connect with, that desire to understand communication better.
So diving in, what really jumps out from this source is the accountability aspect.
Accountability.
How so?
Well, it says point blank, we'll have to answer for every empty word.
Every single one. That sounds intense.
It is. And these aren't just, sounds. They have weight. The text says our words lead to acquittal or condemnation.
Wow. Okay. So right off the bat, it's saying our speech is incredibly significant.
Very much so. Let's unpack empty words then. What does the source suggest those are? Are we talking about just like ums and ahs?
Not quite. It clarifies it means things like lies, definitely. Gossip, slander words used to hurt or deceive.
Okay, the intentional stuff.
Right. But it also includes what it calls careless speech.
Careless speech? Like what?
Those things we say without really thinking,
Yeah.
Remarks that just slip out maybe thoughtlessly without considering the impact.
So it's broader than just malicious intent. It's about a lack of thoughtfulness too.
Exactly. It implies God actually evaluates not just the words, but the intention, the carelessness, the effect.
That ties into the whole idea of the power of words, doesn't it?
It really does. The source paints a picture where words can, they can heal people or deeply wound them.
Build things up or tear them down.
Precisely. Think about how just one piece of gossip can wreck someone's reputation.
Yeah, instantly.
But then conversely, a few words of encouragement, that can totally change someone's day, maybe even their perspective.
It highlights the real force, the potency within language itself.
Mm-hmm.
So building on that, the source then calls for what?
Integrity.
Integrity and intentionality, yeah. It's pushing beyond just not saying bad things.
Towards actively choosing good speech.
Exactly. Speaking truthfully, lovingly, wisely, using words that reflect God's grace and righteousness.
That's a high bar.
Yeah.
And it shifts the focus, doesn't it? From just taking in information to really considering how we use it in our communication, being thoughtful.
Very much so. And it raises that other key point. Where do these words actually come from?
Right. The heart.
Yes, strongly. It basically says what's in your heart will inevitably come out of your mouth.
So if your heart is aligned with good principles,
or aligned with God, as the source suggests,
then your speech will naturally become more positive, more truthful.
That's the idea. It's like our words are a diagnostic tool for our inner state.
That makes a lot of sense. So this passage isn't just a don't do this list. Not at all. It's looking deeper.
It's examining who we are inside. So the source kind of presents it as, a warning and an invitation.
So that's a great way to put it. A warning to be really mindful of our words, yes.
Pay attention.
But also an invitation to work on that inner condition, that heart purity, so our words naturally become constructive and honest.
Well, it's about cultivating the source so the output changes.
One follows the other. The warning pushes awareness. The invitation pushes transformation from the inside out.
Okay. So for listeners thinking about the key takeaway here, it's really the profound weight and responsibility attached to our words.
Absolutely. They're not trivial. They have real impact, both now and according to this source, in a much bigger picture.
Which leads to a fascinating final thought to leave people with.
Go for it.
Well, if these verses put that much weight on our communication, maybe ask yourself, is there one specific empty word? Maybe it's a habit, a type of gossip, a careless phrase you could consciously try to remove.
Ooh, that's practical.
Yeah, and then just observe. How might that small change actually shift your conversations, maybe even your own internal thoughts.
It's taking this deep dive and seeing how it lands in real life. A challenge to apply it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something to consider.